Hello, everybody. It's Bill Walker, the gambling astrologer. Um, I want to show you a little something. Even I learn a little something all the time, and this is really kind of an interesting oddity. And it may be a little bit discouraging, because the truth is that we manifest within a structure of our energy container, and we have certain numbers that we resonate to. I know a lot of poker players that seem to get first place every time they hit the final table, and they do it very often. They're very, very lucky people. And I do believe that most of us are all lucky at something, but I do love to gamble and I love to play tournament poker, and I'm successful at poker. I'm not as successful at tournaments. I'm not lucky at the end of a tournament. But here's an interesting oddity I want to show you. Um, this here I'm showing is a copy of my results in big events, World Series of Poker events. Here at the very bottom of the screen, I've got the first $1,500 Omaha event that I played. It was a World Series of Poker event. And if you'll notice here at the very bottom, I ended up getting 102nd place. I think there were roughly 2,000 people in the field. So all these were about 2,000 people between 1,500 and 2,500 entries. So I placed 102nd, which, wasn't bad. It made the money, but, it wasn't, life-changing money by any stretch. But then the next time I entered this event, I'm going to go up here to the top. Um, I did well in 2022. I actually got 34th the second time I entered. But then look here, the very first Big O event, I'm going to put it at the bottom of the screen here. The first Big O event at the bottom in 2023, which is a five card Omaha variation. Notice I placed 102nd. Again, that's the second time we have a 102nd out of a big field. Um, and so that's pretty improbable to get the same place. But then just a couple of days ago, I played another $1,500 Omaha event. The last one I played, I didn't cash, but this is the next one after. And this began on June 5th, 2026. And look at the place I got, 103rd this time. But I mean, how odd is that to have three cashes? I'm sorry, four cashes in the $1,500 buy-in Omaha event. Three of them are 102, 102, and 103. And what does that say astrologically? Does it mean anything astrologically? Well, in fact, it does. Number one, now we're going to look at, I'm going to minimize this. We're going to look at my birth chart. And one thing you'll notice is that I'm 7 degrees Cancer rising. Look at Uranus. I've got a Sun Uranus conjunction near the fifth house cusp. Uranus is at 19 degrees of Libra. The distance between 7 Cancer and 19 Libra is 102 degrees. Now you ask, oh, what makes 102 degrees? Is it special? Well, it is because a little bit because 1/7 of the zodiac, if you divide 360 by 7, you get 51.4. So 2/7 is going to be 102.8. And so I got 102nd, 102nd, and 103rd. That's going to average, 102 and change, but it's close enough to where, you know, I'm vibrating obviously at a seventh harmonic. And I think the ascendant and Uranus, the distance between them, somewhat makes um, that seventh harmonic special within my vibration. I have several things in my chart that make me not as lucky when I'm competing against big fields. And I realize that I'm competing against the most lucky people of that day. My knowledge of astrology and my skill makes me profit, and I do well in cash games, but I only get so far in tournaments when the real money's on the line. But also, it was interesting that right now, or right at during the event, one question I had was there any planets um, that were hitting the fifth harmonic or the seventh harmonic spots? The spots would be this 7 degrees of Cancer, obviously 19 degrees of Libra. Here's two sevenths. Um, what would be the next one? The next one would actually be 28 Leo, 51 degrees, 28 Leo, 19 to 20 Libra. Another one is 11 degrees of Sagittarius. Another one is 3 degrees of Aquarius, 24 degrees of Pisces, and 16 degrees of Taurus. Well, Mars right now is at 16 degrees of Taurus. My progressed moon is nearing 2 degrees of Aquarius, so it's getting very close to that seventh harmonic position. There were a couple of planets that day. The moon hit 11 degrees of Sagittarius that day. So there was a couple of different hits to uh, to the seventh harmonic that I think triggered that. Anyway, it's just interesting food for thought. We're not just dealing with transits; we're dealing with harmonics and how that relates to our structural vibration and what sort of structure we fall into when we play against big fields in poker tournaments. Anyway, good luck, everybody. Thank you.